Hey yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit different tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make how to edit, your car pictures and stuff. So pretty much it's going to go from this to this amazing thing, and it's real simple. As you can see, all these little things, it may look, intimidating, but it's really not, But anyways, without wasting any more time, let's get it started. So we're started with the import right here. All right, so obviously the framing isn't the best, but it's going to be cropped for an Instagram post, obviously. So it's going to be more of this is going to be cropped out. So don't worry too much about that. I will show you guys how to probably take car pictures or car photos as well. But first we're going to get started with editing. So as you can see, this is a real nice and sharp image right here. All right. But anyways, we're gonna start editing. So first thing first, you guys want to make sure you guys are in the develop tab right here, not library or anything else. You want to make sure you're in develop, and we're gonna get started. All right, so we're gonna go straight to the masking tab. All right, so first thing first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the subject. So we're gonna select the car, and why we're gonna do this is we're gonna bump up the reflections on this car to make it look, more of a menacing picture, I guess, because this is a menacing looking car. But anyways, as you can see, there is some imperfection in selecting this car right here. This stuff is highlighted, some of this stuff is highlighted, a little bit of red right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do subtract. We're gonna go up here to our masks, we're gonna click subtract and brush. So you got your brush here. So what I recommend is right here, is whenever you bump your size, you want to have your feather pretty small, and then we're gonna go and erase all the big stuff first, and we're gonna get all the little details later, just like that. Make sure to not get any of the edges, like car edges, erased. All the big important stuff or not important stuff in the back. Now that you got that, you can zoom in, and we're gonna start fine-tuning all these edges. And the reason you want this small feather right here, not too big, because if you erase them like this, it's gonna gradient out right here. If you look at the center, this is gonna be less selected than this part, so you don't want that. So you're gonna bump the feather down to slightly like this, and you're gonna erase, and you're gonna go to the edge like this and just go around the edge perfectly like that. And then you're gonna keep doing this like this, keep going over that edge like this. We'll worry about this stuff later. As you can see right here, there's a lot of feathering on this edge, so we're gonna take care of that because we don't want to select anything but the car. Now the automatic subject select works very well, so there's a little cleanup we got to do right here. Okay, a little bit of clean up this stuff right here. We'll take this down a little bit, this little edge. We'll do some more fine-tuning there, but let's take this down as well. Nothing here to see. All right, looks like we got it pretty good. Let's take this down. Now there's a spoiler on this car, I believe so. Yeah, there is. So that is the spoiler right there. We don't want to take that off, so we're just gonna kind of work around it a little bit like this. And yeah, so we did more of that, and now let's go into fine-tuning. So you want to zoom in even more and make the brush size smaller. Now if you make the brush size smaller, the feather gets smaller, so you want to kind of make it similar size and kind of get all these corners right here. All right, like this, nice and easy. Just get these corners right here. Get this. We're gonna move it to this side. We're gonna get this right here. We just want the car selected, okay? Promise this is gonna pay off. The more work you put in, the more it's gonna pay off. But you don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it, it's just not gonna look right. And what we're going for is to try to keep the same color of the car. We're not trying to change the color of the car too much. We're just doing a little bit of light editing stuff to make the picture, look better. Okay. Now, so what my technique is for these corners right here, you can just erase it like this, but as you can see, it doesn't do that. So what I would like to do is, you know, first of all, erase these corners like this. All right, let's get this one right here. Let me double check. Everything seems to be going good. Then I go back to my masks, click add, brush, and kind of go over the body of the car like this, adding back what we removed, you know, just like that. You can see we got a nice like sharp edge right there. And same thing right here. We're just gonna go highlight the car. I'm gonna click right here. Now I'm no way in a professional, you know, I just started doing this, so don't feel too discouraged. If I can do it, you guys can most certainly do it as well. But I'm just here to help, you know, so you guys don't, you know, I guess try to figure out on your own, kind of like I did. But I did ask around a few buddies of mine, so this is a lot easier. If I didn't, this would have been a lot harder if I didn't ask my buddies for help, you know. But anyways, we got the car selected right here. Now what we're gonna go to is we're gonna go to the clarity slide right here. Now you can bump this all the way up and look at these, the reflections go up crazy. But if you zoom in, you're gonna see all this like noise and stuff, and it's honestly too much. So we're kind of gonna adjust the slider to where it's not too like intense, because we can take it down and it just looks dull. We're gonna bump up the slider. So I feel like 25 was pretty good. 23 looks really good. You can also bump the texture up if you want, but I really don't touch that because it's gonna be on a small like Instagram post. But this already looks really good, right? And we're gonna fit real quick and look at this, you know. So before, whoops, let's do it after. Look at that. It just bumped the textures up, or the reflections up just a little bit, making it look more like, you know, I guess shot professionally, of course. So now that we got that, let's create a new mask, and we're going to do a linear gradient. I love using these, right? So we're going to drag the linear gradient up and about to right here, halfway up to where the grill of the car is. And we're going to bump that exposure down. Now it's mainly going to affect the ground right there. This will be cropped away. We mainly want this portion selected, and we kind of want the soft gradient, low exposure. So we're going to go like this. There we go. This is real nice. So we divert the attention from the ground more to the car, so you don't see this weird empty space. You know, now it's like just black empty space, you know, or lower exposure, so it's nothing really there to look at. So they're going to be pointed towards the car. And now that we got that, let's add, or let's exit out of this. So how to exit out of the masks is you click this button right here, masking. All right, now let's bump up the temperature a bit. I like my pictures warmer. They look a little better. If they were colder, they don't really look that great. It's too much like blue, and that's kind of not the mood I'm going for. It looks like a sad mood, you know. But if I bump it up, you get more like of a, you know, like a summer type mood, and that's kind of what I'm going for. But plus 18 is way too much. What I'm going to pick it up is to like 7 or 8. 8 looks good. Look at that. And we just changed the picture a whole lot just by adjusting that slider. Now tint, you could make it a little bit more like magenta-ish or greenish, like a, I don't know why you want to do that, you know, but I wouldn't really touch that slide. And all these I rarely touch as well. You can probably bump the shadows up a little bit if your picture is real dark, and you can also bump the highlights down if you want more of the sky to show. But I'm gonna keep those reflections, and I'll show you how to deal with the sky later because it is overexposed. All right, so now we did that, you know, bump the color up. We're gonna go back into masking, and we're gonna create a new mask, and we're gonna select the sky. All right, I'll show you guys how to deal with the sky. So it does a real good job to select the sky, way better than selecting the subject. So we're just literally gonna bump down the highlights here. Gonna bring that sky out a little bit more. See, now you can see a little further back of what the heck. A little further back of, you know, what wasn't there. So you can, it's real bright and white, but if we take the highlights down, whoops. Makes it really like just more visible, I guess. I don't really know the proper word, but it just makes it look way nicer. And we're just going to leave the same color. Sometimes if you want, you could bump up the temperature, but we're going to keep it there. I do like this look. It gives a nice variety. You know, there's this blue reflection on the car right here from the sky, and then you get nice yellow mood, you know, like the sunlight's hitting it, you know, like a lot of different, like it's more vibrant, I guess. And now we're going to add that real nice like shine from the sun on this side of the car, so where you can see the light is coming from this direction, hitting the left side of the car from this perspective. There's more light here than there is on this side, and that's how you can tell. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new mask, and we're gonna do a radial gradient. We're just gonna pop it kind of right here. We don't want it too much. You can also rotate this, so we're going to select that like this, and we're going to bump the exposure up just a little bit, and then we're going to bump that temperature up a little bit warmer, okay? So it'll shrink, actually. Let's see, you can play around with this how you like it. We're going to shrink it down so it kind of just selects more of the car, the hood. Rotate a little bit, put in this part right here. Make it maybe a little bit bigger. Cover like this general area is what we're kind of going for. And now we can take away that. And boom, this is pretty much probably the final product I would go with. You can go a little further and create a linear gradient. Go from the sky like this. And bump that temp up. So there's a little variety right here in the sky, and bump the exposure up just a little bit so you can tell, oh, there's probably some sun shining there, and it's, you know, leaving its effects on the car right there. So now you could see we went from this dull, you know, JPEG. I don't shoot in RAW, I shoot in JPEG, but I should shoot in RAW, you know. But anyways, we went from this dull looking image, I mean, it looked all right, to this like amazing, beautiful like edit. You know, this is something I would post. This is what I would show on my portfolio, you know, or show people my, like, you know, skills and stuff. But yeah, anyways, this will conclude the tutorial. If you guys want more, you know, I will be doing more like car tutorial stuff like this, you know, mainly photography based, probably videography as well, but I'm still working on getting a gimbal. But you know, it's finally nice to have a video up and stuff. And I really hope this helps you guys, because this is something I wish I knew when I first started. Because my first pictures, I would over edit them like crazy, and they really just didn't hit as well, or like they didn't hit like as good as these, you know, pictures did. And I did way less work on this picture. You know, I put in about the same amount of editing time, but I like took my time and looked at what I'm working with, and like, you know, did what is necessary to make it better than just over editing the picture and making the color just of the car different. You know, you can see the color of the car is the same. You know, there's a little purplish right here, but it's overall black, right? If you go here, you still get the same purplish, but it's still black. You know, this car is not, it doesn't, the color isn't different. It's just like, you know, it's there's a lot more light happening and stuff, fake light, but you know, I use these reflections to my advantage and stuff. I saw where and, you know, what I can do to what spot, and you know, it's kind of a skill you'll develop over time. I'm still developing that skill as well and stuff, you know, because a pro photographer can just hop in there and take advantage of the environment, everything there, but I'm still kind of, you know, getting into it. But you know, this was a tutorial, you know, by a beginner to help beginners, to, you know, help them move up faster, you know, which is what everyone wants to do, you know. And if you're like stuck and you don't know how to do something and you can't find it, I'm gonna be doing those tutorials for you guys. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, you know, because I'm just here to help, you know. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.